You are now listening to the A Dose of Disruption podcast, powered by Experian. Weekly compelling conversations on making money moves and growing your network. The place where you can learn to be you and do you all at the same time. I'm your host, Shelly Bell, and now, let's see what this week's Level Up looks like. What's up, y'all? We are back. Here we are, A Dose of Disruption. Actually, I'm super hyped to have one of our awesome BGV Connect members here. And today's episode is going to be Shelly Fix My Pitch. Whoop, whoop. All right. So the way this episode works, you've heard at least one of them by now. We're going to have someone pitch, and then I'm going to give some live feedback. And this presents a different level of like learning opportunity, just to hear like the way funders are thinking. They hear the way to think about how you pitch. People always ask me, hey, how should I pitch? What do people look for in a pitch? And a lot of times it's one of those things where like you just got to listen to people do it over and over and over again for you to really grasp it and just jump out there and try it yourself. All right. So welcoming to the stage, Christina Wright.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
How you feeling?
I'm doing well. Really good. I'm excited to go over the pitch with you. I haven't gone over my pitch with you in a while.
All right. So have you made any pivots? I know since we last spoke.
Yeah. Big time.
Okay. So this is going to be brand new.
Big time.
Okay.
So, not brand new, just kind of like zeroed in on what really matters and what's really going to grow long term.
Okay. All right. Well, 3 minutes on the clock.
I doing?
What you mean? Which pitch you doing?
That's what I'm asking. It's the 3-minute pitch, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. And like, am I sharing my screen?
Yes, if you want. Do you want to share your screen, or you want?
Yeah,
we'd like for you to share your screen.
Well, yeah, I would like to share my screen. Okay. Have you ever heard of a human mutt or a Mexican zebra? Try this one, a Wablaxican. My Mexican grandfather married my white grandmother, who both admonished my biracial mother when she married a black man. That mixed racial makeup and background has given me a unique world. My name is Christina Wright, and I'm a founder of PS Make It Right, a communications expert and trainer of nearly 2 decades, including 15 years of reporting on local officials who often forgot the issues most affecting our community. That's why my team and I are changing the script on diversity training with our innovative learning platform. PS stands for Problem More Solution. Our hero product is our learning platform, the first ever continual education dedicated to social literacy, what we call diversity training, that also teaches how to change the rules that divide us. The PS platform not only improves the relatability and effectiveness of learning materials, but also offers a cost-saving option through virtual learning. Our learning management system will evolve to include self-guided courses and become our primary product by year 5. We're currently focused on instructor-led team training and advising, ranging in cost from $297 to $25,000 depending on service. Our Black Experience curriculum hard launches in 2022 to a waiting list and community we've gained through many courses, group discussions, and advising services. The 2020 uprisings, coupled with the global mental space to truly see the problems, have placed systemic oppression in a moment that it will not and should not be ignored. Diversity training demand is up by more than 50% worldwide as employees of color demand more equitable and socially literate workplaces. And general virtual learning is also on the rise, with the learning management market expected to quadruple to $38.1 billion by 2027. Nonprofits, teams, teachers, social workers, therapists, and anyone else working directly with our communities can access our culture-specific libraries or participate in our instructor-led training opportunities. We're currently targeting public charities based on the team's current networks. Because media both reflects and documents life experiences, we provide media streaming spending accounts to view TV shows, movies, and other pop culture as learning materials and discussion starters. Competitors focus on history lessons and vocabulary that makes mandatory pretty stale. PS offers a robust, relatable curriculum that integrates pop culture, reserving history lessons for our online database. Our overhead is limited, so we're able to do a lot with a little. We're raising $200,000 to complete the first phase of the learning platform and for client acquisition. Help us build the world some wished we lived in and others thought we did. P.S. It's been 400 years. We don't have any more time to waste.
all right, well, you were going so fast, right? Like you were going like, and then we're going to go, and then we're going to go to the store. And when we get to the store, we're going to get some juice. See this juice? Juice will be good. 2 juices, 3 juices. Juices for you, juices for me. You know, like you were going like so fast. And I was just like trying to grasp it. So what I could grasp, and the reason why I was asking you about the themes is because, so sometimes we go fast because we're wanting to get it all in 3 minutes. Sometimes we go fast because we're nervous. I don't think that's you. I think you probably just want to get it all in. And then sometimes we go fast because we're trying to get to a certain point in the presentation that we really want to emphasize. And so now here's a kicker. Now, a lot of people say going fast is bad. And I'm going to give you a slightly different take on it. It's not so much that going fast is bad just because you're going fast. Going fast without a theme surfacing for me to grasp, and then a pause somewhere that's an emphasis, is the part where it's a challenge. So I would have loved for you to slow down on your story a little bit more. I've heard you slow down on it when you fished it before, but I also loved when you got to the part about the pricing, which I think feels more refined than I've seen you do before. So I love that you have this. What I will say feels very thought out. Like I could tell that you have been thinking through this, and you've been thinking through the revenue and thinking through the delivery. The beginning, I was tracking with you on learning management system. And I think I got kind of lost when you went into the parts about you went into explaining it more. So about the types of data in the database that you're going to be using, like the type of media and content. I wondered though, if there was a way to set me up at the point where you say who you are in your professionalism, like in your professional self, to set me up to understand that this is about media content. And then as you go through it, you're just kind of you're almost like affirming versus revealing. And the power of a pitch is that throughout your pitch, you're affirming what you believe and what now I'm going to believe with you. And then versus convincing or revealing, and I think that's one of the keys to pitches that people don't hear a lot. Is like your pitch is to present the problem, have me own it with you, and then constantly affirm that you're the solution versus actually like pitching to convince me to collaborate. Right? Those are two different things. And this is great. Like I love where you are. And now I want to move you to this next layer of like, now that you've thought it out, hashed it out, got all the pieces together. Now I'm like, ooh, okay, now you're ready for the let's position this such that the people that's hearing feel affirmation versus like learning. Right? So I'll follow your reaction on that.
So to be honest with you, that's what I need. Like, as I'm exactly where you said I am is how I feel I am. So we're like on the same page with that, because what I'm feeling as I'm going through it is cadence is off. Like, and that's why you hear me kind of like stuttering and all of that, because I feel like, you know, when somebody learns how to dance and they got like the feet on the floor, like I've done those. It's all, but it's not layered where it should be. So yeah, I think I like the affirmation of the problem all the way through, because I did think that it's more like, you know, adding on piece as we go through, as opposed to like on this one, there's a line in here that I say, this particular slide, where I say, almost give like in news, there's a lead. Oh, heck, I'm not going to be able to get back to it that quick. But in news, we call it a lead paragraph that wraps up like the who, when, what, where, why, how. And I did this in the script on this slide, and I was wondering, like, should I? You know, this line of our hero product is our learning platform, the first ever, blah, 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 blah. So I felt like, well, should I put that there? Because I, you know, described the learning management system like further down. So anyhow, all of what you just said does connect, is the point.
Yeah, so let's talk about a little bit about how. So let me think about it, because I'm thinking through what you said, and there's what I could grasp when you were going so fast was learning management system. Boop, got that. Then as you went forward, what I also heard was um the pricing. Boop, got
Mm-hmm.
that. And I saw, for those listening, I saw where you had the pricing for the team and then the pricing for like an individual training. I thought that was good. The only thing about that is 297 to 25K is a big range. So if I were
Mm-hmm.
you, I would consider just illustrating it and not saying it, right? So like I would illustrate like it as packages, and just saying like we offer competitive packages for various client needs or something like that. I don't think that's the right
Okay,
language per se, but I'm just saying that
I
like
get it.
saying that you're offering competitive pricing that for various client needs. Now some people when you pitch will want you to say the 297. I think one of the things that I would have wanted to see is more like, which I think you had in there before, and I think you had it this time, but it felt less emphasized, and it was more about your go-to-market strategy and like who the targets were. That's important because regardless if I understand what you're doing, if you could show me that where the markets are, like I always love the map illustration, and then the blowing up of the percentages. But also wondered if there was something a little bit more bigger and more hardcore that has to do with
Mm-hmm.
like today's pressing challenges, like workforce development, lack of internet access. I just wondered if there was a bigger stat that was more hard hitting, where you could just use one and then alleviate some time. Like, 30% of
And
people.
courtesy of BGV, I got some advice during one of the blitzes to look at see if I can find a stat related to how not having a workforce that is socially literate affects a business or a corporation, like on the
I
ground,
like
real
that.
dollars, right?
I like that
Yeah.
because now you could tie yourself into corporate, like tying yourself into corporate training.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you could tie into literacy, you're tying into awareness, you're tying into ability to excel, you're tying into upskill and reskilling. And right now, the upskilling and the reskilling is hot. I mean, don't get me wrong, we always needed it. But because we have so many Americans unemployed, they are grasping at learning systems and learning methodologies that could work. Everything from just like how to code to like what does it mean to socially navigate. And I think what you're saying is what you have here is how people socially navigate, which is important for relationship building, so I think that's the anchor, the planted part is what we're missing, which is that kind of data, which is like great, but like where, who, and not literally who, but
Mm-hmm.
like the kind of like the profile of character that needs is the profile of company that needs you. Not in the sense of just naming company A, but saying almost. I wonder too, now that you have flushed out where you are and where you want to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is not going to be the most favorable thing that I'm about to say, but I almost wonder if this is not even the presentation. Like if this was just your training ground to get you here, but your next presentation is not this at all. Like you're going to take this and, if this is the book, you're going to write the movie, right? And like you're going to move it from all these pieces that you needed to work out into something that is a little bit more high energy, enthusiastic, but also super informative and affirming for the companies that would want to work with you. Because I think this is
I
one of
was
those things
thinking
where like,
it, and you said it.
okay, yeah, because it's
In
one of
real
those things
life,
where
you
like,
so just confirmed, like, because you know how I am. Like, is it really? Do I need to? So, okay, yeah, yeah. I've been feeling like, I love the front end. I've been so in love with that front end. About my mom and my grandpa and my dad. I love it. But is that time best utilized in a different way? And I think at this stage, it is, and it's time to flip my whole situation, the whole pitch around to highlight where it really needs to be highlighted, and that may help with the fluidity of it.
I mean, because imagine that. So, because what the pitch as it is right now, I don't know that I don't know how I clearly see the learning management system as the solve for which one of your family members. So that's the key too. So, like for example, would your mom have been able to navigate family situations better with her
The answer is
dad?
yes.
So
I
this
love
is
that,
where
Shelly. Yes.
yeah, so this is where you should go. So when you go with the stat of, people need this level of social information before they can navigate, properly. This also is a huge workforce development challenge. How do you actually get people to learn about other realms? I tell people all the time, listen, I wasn't brought up under the umbrella of philanthropy. So it took me 2 years to realize, like I told y'all, when somebody said, how can I be helpful? It took me 2 years to realize they really wanted me to be like, can you give me $50,000? And I mean, and some other things, but I was constantly giving them volunteer opportunities, and they're like, okay, Shelly, but how can I be helpful? And I'm like, what I just told you. So had I had your learning management platform, maybe I could have learned about a societal or social norm that I didn't know about, or that I would have had to, search on YouTube, or search to try to pull this theme together. I think you have something so powerful here for what you're about to create, right? Like when we started, it was getting this out of your head. Like, I know what I'm trying to do, and I know who I'm trying to inform, but how do I, now you got the wheels turning, you're down the road, you whipping it. Like, we need to
I'm so excited for it more and more every day too. Like, the full, and this is part of the reason I've got to condense some things down, because talking about what is in this platform is really, really, really special at this point. Like, it even includes on the ground news stories, like case studies. Like there's an intersection in Houston that leads to the courthouse. And along that street, you're seeing cops pulling people over left and right. Why are they pulling them over, right? So, I kind of want to go back to my roots, my reporting roots, and jump out there and, do a story and, get a stat from the city and all of that. And that would be in the learning management platform. So there's like this news component that's not even talked about in this particular pitch. The case studies are really huge. The focus groups are. There's data and research that's going to be unique to this platform that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Now, did you know that? No, you didn't, because it's nowhere in here.
Well, I mean, no. And I think that you have an opportunity to play in the data space, which is a level of capital that we have yet to discover commercially, right? Because like everybody is suspicious about their data being used some kind of way. They just don't know how, and they don't know where it's quote unquote being sold. Like, we don't know those answers. But we got this inclination that it's happening, but we don't, and we also don't see where people are making the money. The way that people make money off of data is not just let me give people's names and addresses out. Literally, nothing about us is private except for our picture, and we've given up that access on social media. So it's more about like the nuance of understanding communities and understanding what people need and understanding how they need it, when they need it. The scenario of like bringing a horse to water is whack, because like you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, hell, maybe he ain't thirsty. Maybe she is not ready to, maybe your water don't work for her. Like there is no measurement of the capacity of that horse. And so I say that to say you have this ability with this platform to collect levels of data and work with research firms to take an analysis around like, what are the themes that surface across media that are actually having an impression upon people? You know what happens when people can understand the themes and what can have an impression upon people? They can then spend their money. Now you're saving these companies, corporations money by helping them understand their clientele even more by the way they respond to and react to themes in media. And so I would say do your research for competitors along those lines of who out there is doing an analysis of the themes in media. And then when you do, you figure out who's funding them. And then you get into that network, right? Your pitching opportunities are
Yeah.
great if you're pitching to ed tech, if you're pitching to people in the data science world, if you're pitching to, however, pitching for you is also a speaking opportunity. So I want you to get this pitch, refine it to the place where when you step on stage to pitch, no matter what the competition is, you can win money, but that ain't all that you're going to be getting access to, right? Like you're going to be getting access to people understanding that this is where you're working on and this is out there, and that for you to get that startup capital to begin building out the platform. And you'll refine as you go. Like there's still more things to learn here. This is not the end of this pitch by no stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely, I'm so proud of you. I feel like it's so good in what you're about to do with it next. Like you needed this though. Like this was good.
Yeah.
Like going through all the refining questions, pulling it apart. Now you also got some capital behind it. The research and the data side, I just feel like that's going to be a great move.
Yeah, it's feeling natural. I mean, that's how I feel about life in general. Is you have to go through some things to get to what it's going to be, and this platform is basically a result of my life in a box. And I agree, like where this is going and where the pitch is in the future, I can't even see it yet.
Yeah, I want to empower and encourage you to stay close to that though. And I say that because sometimes as we go on, we get a little bit of mission creep for the funds that are available. I'm not saying you will do this or have, but next part for you to really get tight is, how is this learning management platform the solution for your mom who is navigating a space where people agree or disagree with her social actions, personal actions, biological actions, and because when you think about it, when you think about social, biological, environment, and how people are responding to you because of what you choose to engage in, again, that data research piece, you're talking about, you're talking about human rights, you're talking about mental health, you're talking about, there's so many industries that spin off the thought that we need to be able to be who we are and engage in things that feel like differences for people around us.
Agreed. I like that.
Yeah.
Shelly, this is so helpful. Thank you, friend.
Good. I'm so glad. I think this is good. Yeah. I love to see it. I love to see it. It's good. You're in a good place. Slow down though on this pitch.
I got so scared I was going to end up in time because I was stumbling, right? And then I got to the end. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I still had 20 seconds left on the timer. So I
don't know why people think 3 minutes is short. 3 minutes is actually not short when you're talking.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like it might be short when you just like sitting around or walking or something like that. But when you're talking, it's actually not. You will find yourself talking a lot, feeling like you're talking a lot in 3 minutes.
Well, in the beginning, part of it is because you have so much that you're trying to put into that 3 minute, and what BGV has done is helped, and the accelerators and all of that has helped whittle down, like for real, what is necessary here. That beginning at one point was like 5 minutes long just by itself, but all of that information wasn't necessary for the pitch. So once you go through with almost a hacksaw, and it's not even going through with a hacksaw, everything that was in there to begin with is still in there. It's just said in a different way that is more conversational, easier to understand, and it lumps together like 5 of those original thoughts into one. So yeah, part of it is in the beginning, we're giving it the whole kitchen sink. And so you get used to trying to put it all together.
Well, I heard an investor say one time, it takes about 25 pitches before you know what you have. And so you're going to refine this more because one, you got way too many words on these. And It's a lot of words, but it's okay. It's okay. I also just want to see the packages more clearly. I want to see the marketing more clearly. I want to see the not marketing opportunity. Not I got not I don't want to not I don't want to see, but what I'm saying is it's not the and this market is a $4.9 billion market. It's not that. It
Mm-hmm.
is that's not what I'm asking to see. I want to see the thought process behind how this rolls out into a
Mm-hmm.
really viable product, right? And like, but again, some of that data is going to help you because you have to now clearly identify who needs this specifically. So going back to your point, like in the beginning, it's like everybody, like not everybody, but like these people, these people, these people, these people. I can plug here, plug here, plug here. Now I just want you to narrow down to like 3 people,
Okay.
like my like your most viable, and they should be like unlimited. Oh, you said our overhead is limited. I wouldn't use the word limited. I would just say like do something like low cost, high impact. Do something like you know what I mean, like something that's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more snazzy of a
You know what?
storytelling.
No, I don't know what you mean because, yeah, I would love a couple of examples of the best way to say that because that's a line I also don't care for.
Yeah. Okay. So our solution is low cost, high impact.
Mm-hmm.
Our overhead is only, or we have low overhead, or give me a thought process. Give me like, we believe that blah, therefore we keep our overhead low and do X, or give me like it was important for us to keep our overhead low to determine how blah happens when X does blah. You know what I mean? Like it, I think too, everything doesn't have to be like just straight up the thing that happened. It's okay if the person that you're pitching to or sharing this with understands your thought process, because getting engaged is getting engaged in how you plan to think through this to the level of revenue that makes sense. I tell people all the
Okay.
time, like, investors and funders don't expect for you to like have every single thing done, figured out, all that, because then you wouldn't need us, right? So like I think it is awesome to hear you think through it. And it's so new, you haven't had a chance to do much testing. So, if you had any testing done in there, it'd be great to maybe focus on what you found with low overhead. And now what you'll be able to do once you get more capital is blah, right? Because it's like with low overhead, we've been able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. As our company grows, we want to accomplish blah, blah, blah. Like that to me, and an illustration on the slide of the numbers. That's
Mm-hmm.
a thought process. That's like, again, affirmation that like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
confidence in you. Confidence in you. Got it. Ooh, you got the expertise. Boom. I believe in this problem too. Oh, got it. Psh. Okay, throughout affirming. Ugh, got it. You got low overhead, but like you chose that, right? Like it's not I got
Mm-hmm.
low overhead because we ain't had no money. We've been bootstrapping. It's like we
Yeah.
like low overhead was a choice so that we could predict, do blah 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 blah. That's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could spend the funds where the funds needed to be spent, which is on the information that's going into the database.
That's right. And I
Like,
think you could say that by um you could you could say things like, um, we intentionally chose to keep our overhead low in order to invest in increasing blah so that X can happen, right? And you could probably
mm-hmm.
shorten even what I just said if you write it down, like hash it, take a look at it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
I
overall,
appreciate that.
that's the theme you're giving. Like I am making decisions too. This thing
Like,
happened in
like
my family.
it's like these aren't just decisions that were made; they are decisions that I thought through in order to make them.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's not matter of fact, I made this decision. It is, there was a thought process. There is an actual understanding of the need. There's an actual rollout of what's of me from a marketing standpoint. There, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Got you. Got you.
All
Okay.
right. How you feel?
I feel good. I feel like I'm on the right track, to where I need this to be in order to get the funding that I need for me to do what I want to do. So, like, I feel really good. And I also, next time you see me, it'll be a whole new deck because you just confirmed my. I didn't really want to have to start a whole new deck, but I do. I don't even like the way it looks, quite frankly. Like, as a communications and marketing professional, I hate my deck, and like it's just terrible.
Well, remember that you're not starting over, you're starting from here, right? And the power of clarity is confidence. So as you go into creating the next one, it will be 10 times better than this one. I truly believe. So thank you for being open, because I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to tell her to let this deck go. You know, like, you never really know how people are gonna take that. So thank you for being open and always, like, you know, chopping up the feedback for what makes sense for you, and then growing. Like, that's everything, right? Like, that makes the time worth it. So
thanks for being honest.
That's all I got. That's all I got. Thanks for joining us, Disruptors, and congratulations. You have taken another step toward being friggin' amazing. Make sure you visit us at adoseofdisruption.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or via RSS feed. Rate and subscribe if you're all the way live. Rate and subscribe if you're all the way live. That's right. Tell a friend, rate and subscribe to keep us all the way live. Come back next week so we can disrupt some more shit.